sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
If you're an entrepreneur and your business is not yet registered, if you're looking to grow your registered business, or you're an accomplished professional, our Elevate program supports you with access to finance, access to markets, access to capacity building. Sign up now or refer a friend at ecobank.com/elevate. Elevate by EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
It's Monday, the 20th of July, 2026, and you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez. We're coming to you live on 92.1 megahertz on the FM band for listeners in this country. And globally, you'll find us at www.wcr.gm and later also on YouTube. 9 minutes past 9 o'clock. We're turning now to a conversation that touches every Gambian household. Education, research, science, and technology. And joining us this morning is the Honorable Minister of Mohurst, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez. From the challenges of students' stipends abroad to the bold new initiatives reshaping our universities and technical training, Professor Gomez sits at the heart of decisions that will define the future of our young people and the nation's development. He is not only a minister, but also a seasoned academic, thereby bringing both policy and classroom experience to the table. So for the next hour or so, I'll be asking the questions that matter most to students, parents, and the wider Gambian public. And you, yes, you listening to me right now, can take part with your own question or comment. And you can get in touch on 7711-599, 7711-599, either through SMS text or WhatsApp. So get texting. Professor Gomez, welcome back to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez.
Thank you very much, Uncle Peter. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the cup of tea.
It's a coffee program. I don't know why they served you tea. Prof, Gambian students studying abroad have written to us expressing deep concern over continuous delays in the payment of their stipends. They say the last payment covered only March and April.
Yes.
Leaving them now in July, struggling with debts and basic survival needs, often borrowing from friends and lecturers just to get by. The students stress that stipends are meant to be paid in advance, not after months of hardship, and they appeal to you personally, recalling your own experience as an international student and a senior lecturer at the UTG, to treat this matter as an emergency. They emphasize that their plea is not political, repeat, not political, but a humanitarian appeal for timely support so that they can focus on their studies and continue making the Gambia proud. How do you respond to their lived experience?
Well, thank you very much, Peter. I want to say that we understand the challenges that some of our students are facing out there. Yes, it is true. I confirm that we owe them some areas. We paid up to March, April, so we need to pay May, June, and July. But right now we don't have the funds at Mohurst. As I always say, there's no reserve at Mohurst. There's no safe at Mohurst. We don't deal with money. Okay, we deal only with papers. And what happened is the procedure, the way government works, is we will request from the Minister of Finance and for a particular purpose, and they will give us money for that purpose and for us to use it for that purpose, and then through the Attorney General, Treasury, and they will do the payment. We are not the one to really.
The Accountant General.
Yeah, Accountant General. So this is how it works. So we will now process our accounts section will do the processing, but the payment to be is done at the Accountant General to the respective students or to the embassies, our embassies. We pay to the embassies, who in turn now pay the students. That's how it works. But that is done provided we receive the funds. Now, we've taken note of the fact we made requests from finance, so they asked us to wait. Yes, their time is different from our time. We do have some challenges here and there. Sometimes it can be very, very tough here and there, but we are also very grateful. We don't want to also jeopardize all the good things that were done also by the same Minister of Finance, because it's the same group that also helped us for our Faraba Banta campus and with a lot of money.
We'll talk about all those other. But indeed, the petition notes that the Mohast often tells students that payments are delayed because funds are pending from the Ministry of Finance. But should students bear the brunt of interministerial bottlenecks, or should there be a mechanism to protect the students from such delays?
Yeah, I understand the students, but the issue is this is how government works. There's no other. Even the same students, if they are here today appointed as ministers, that's the same procedure. There's no, but we can. I don't have the powers to change.
Can't we find mechanisms, new mechanisms, to protect students from such delays?
Yeah, the only thing is that is once we request, then for that to finance to provide the funds. But then finance will remind us that it's a tax-based economy. They pay based on what is collected. So when you are faced with that, sometimes you have to be flexible and then give them time, give them space to be able to see what they can give you. And once they give you, then you see how to distribute that. We would have loved, and that was our submission, that is for us to be given the funds on a quarterly basis, so that we will pay in advance a particular quarter, and before the end of that quarter we receive the other one. Also, we do the same payment. Like that's what the students would want, and that's the position of Mohas. However, from the Ministry of Finance perspective, they are having also other challenges, and which we have to respect. Everybody in their own territory. The only thing is we know our challenges. They also know their challenges, and what we can do is to bring it to their doorsteps, attention. But I should
be hosting the Minister of Finance in the coming weeks. I hope this is one of the things that we can openly talk about.
But I want to reassure them that we'll be having a meeting, a tripartite meeting on this particular issue very soon.
That's your ministry, the Ministry of Finance, and who?
And OP.
Okay,
and OP to see what how we can address these issues. And once we get the go ahead from finance, we'll do. By the way, they gave us even allocated a particular amount. The only problem the technical issue is we don't have it in our budget. So on paper we have the funds, but in reality we cannot have access to it.
Oh,
so that's
why give that to you then?
These are the technicalities. So we will have that tripartite meeting.
What do you need to do to have access to the amount?
It's at Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
So, but we will have the tripartite meeting in the coming days.
And this money is to finance, the stipend of these.
Yes.
So something is being done about this problem.
Yes, it's being done by the Ministry of Finance, and the only thing is there are some technicalities because the budget line where we should get it from, we don't have those funds.
Okay.
So on the allocation on paper is done, but we cannot have access to it.
Government is too complex.
But we are working as a government, with tripartite meeting to address it. But I just want to tell the students that the assurance that all the commitments of the Gambia government will be respected. We will pay, and like we did last year, this year also we will pay. We are engaging Minister of Finance and also the Office of the President, and very soon it will be addressed.
Fantastic. The students appeal to you personally, recalling that you yourself were once an international student because you studied abroad.
Yes.
How does that experience, studying abroad as a student, shape your understanding of their current struggles, and what immediate steps can you take to ease their burden?
No, that's the reason why we brought it up. We had different meetings with different stakeholders, and that's why I said in the coming days we're going to have a tripartite meeting to address it. I also gave the information that allocation is done by the Minister of Finance. The only problem is some technicalities, and so that for us to have access to the allocation that they have given. Right now they've done the allocation, but we don't have access to it. So we need to work out those technicalities with the technicians, the Ministry of Finance. Once that is done, we will effect the payment. We have already done our homework because we have all the data ready. It's the matter, once we receive it, it's a matter of pressing the button, and things will go to the Accountant General for payment, and we will engage them to treat it with urgency. From our own perspective, we want stipends and so on to be treated like salaries. Yes, to be treated like the way we are treating salaries.
Absolutely.
The payment of salaries. Yeah. Because you see, when you are abroad, there are many things that you need to buy some books, you need to photocopy, you need to do something, then you need to eat.
Of course.
Okay? And then you need to pay your accommodation. And you cannot have full concentration.
Some even use part of their stipend to support their families back home here.
And then those who, sometimes, as you said, always want to support their families and so on, because our social system is such that even with a stipend, you cannot eat it alone. You cannot use it alone for your studies and so on. You must support your brothers and sisters back home or your parents. So this is how it works. So without that stipend, regular payment of the stipend...
Just as we treat salaries,
yes,
as you say.
Psychologically you are affected. So I understand the concerns of the students, and I want to assure them that wherever they are, that more hands will always be more hands, and we will pay them if we receive the funds. By the way, the way government works, if you are given money for stipend, you cannot use it for anything else apart from that, because there's a budget line. You cannot do it otherwise.
So when the money comes in for stipend for the students, you cannot use that for anything else.
You cannot even buy a pen from that. That's how it works. Okay. So if we don't give it to them, it's because we don't have it. And this is how it works. I feel their pain, but I want to urge them to just continue being patient with us. Very soon it will be addressed. And based on what we receive, we might not be able to, because I don't want to say Prof said all the problems will be solved, then all the, let's say 3 months or 2 months will be paid. We will pay based on what we receive. We always have a formula now. Like contrary to what used to be what used to happen in the past, where you will pay Fatumata full, and then Demba you give him 1 month party.
That used to happen in the past.
Yes, yes, that used to happen, and so now that's not the case. There's a formula. The formula is you receive a particular amount from finance. From that amount, you know how much you're supposed to pay each student. Now, based on that, how many months can you pay based from this amount?
So Fatumata gets exactly what Deba gets, and
so that we know if we are paying 2 months, it's 2 months across the board. Okay. If we are paying 3 months, it's 3 months across the board. So that's the formula that we are
across
using.
the board means students internationally, wherever they are, whether they're in Sudan or Japan or Turkey,
China,
or
they receive the same, because you see. There's a fixed amount for those doing masters, those doing first degree, BA, BSc. There's also a fixed amount for those doing PhD. We know the formula as per the policy. Based on that, how many months can you pay from what finance would have given you? Okay. So once you do that, then you do the payment for everybody, and there's no segregation.
And what amounts are we speaking of here? In the tens of millions, hundreds of millions?
Yes. Right now we need minimum 50 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is just to clear the 3-month backlog?
Yes, not only them, because we also have some of our universities here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a global figure for both international as well as local students.
50 million.
Okay.
And so in fact, that has been allocated by the Minister of Finance. That 50 million. The problem, as I said, we cannot have access to it.
So is that 50 million for the whole year?
No.
Okay. So for this is just for this.
Part of it will be to pay UTG and some of the universities, USET and CSU, University of Education, the Gambia, and the areas, the scholarship areas that we owe them. And then also we need to pay now the students. The students abroad, some is just stipend, some is tuition fees, some is both tuition fees and stipends and so on. You know, we do have scholarships that are partial. For instance, you take the case of Morocco. Morocco, they give us scholarship, but it's not full. For instance, they might be given $150, per month. But $150, that is by the Moroccans, but it will not be able to really address all their needs. So government gives what we call top-up.
Okay. So if the student needs $500 per month, Morocco gives $150 and you give the other $350.
Yes. So that's what we normally do. Okay. So taking into consideration that our rate, scholarship rate is $300 for the undergrad, BA, BSc, irrespective of where you are studying, and then
irrespective of what course you're doing, even if somebody may go in to be a florist and somebody is going to be an engineer, they will get the same allowance.
That's the format, and then $500 for those doing masters, $500. And then $850 for those doing PhDs.
Okay.
So this is the
hefty amounts, huh? In Dallas.
Yes, taxpayers' money. Yeah. So that's why sometimes it's a bit difficult, and we are trying to.
And the more the Dallas drops, the more it's going to take to buy $1.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are some of the things, and we are doing very well right now because we are able to really control the numbers. Because before, it was a bit difficult. What happened is, what I found in those days, some embassies were the one now submitting the list of students in
their countries.
In their countries, and for Mohans now to give them.
And of course, they would want every Gambian in their country to be covered by the government.
Obviously, we took a very unpopular decision.
I remember that conversation we had here.
So that helped us now to control the numbers. Because if anybody find themselves in the diaspora and therefore Mohans have to give you scholarship, then all the youths will now leave the country. Yeah. And obviously
I'll change my age and pretend to be a 22-year-old and go and study.
But now is before we give you, you must have been selected by Mohans and given a Mohans award letter. Failure to do so, we will not pay for you. Okay. And we also try to minimize, try to avoid those issues entertaining those supports from outside, that because I'm outside, then you need to support us. Because hence these challenges that we are facing, and that's why it is important you control the numbers and ensure that you give based on what you have.
Okay. The students who wrote in made a point of stressing that this is a humanitarian issue, not a political one. I'm sure you would see why, because in most countries, change usually starts with university students. But can you understand why at this point in our democratic process, as we move towards elections in December, they would want to emphasize that point?
But I don't want to link it with elections in December, because at the end of the day, for me, I always tell people leadership is not a popularity contest. And where I come from, I don't succumb to pressure. Where I come from, I tell people the truth. And the truth shall set us free. If it is not possible, I tell you it is not feasible. It's not feasible. You do what you want. But if I cannot give what I don't have,
maybe they are lucky that it's Professor Pierre Gomez who is the minister.
Yeah.
You could see a situation where, with another minister, they would immediately dismiss these students as, being political.
No, for me, the issue is...
For the very simple reason that we are a few months away from elections.
Yeah. So
Even though that same minister would have forgotten that this is a recurrent, complaint.
No, I've confirmed that it is, we really owe the students and May, June, July. And it is right for us to pay them. I had the experience to study abroad. All my university education, I studied abroad in different countries. So I know if there's before the
it's the interpretation of the students' action that we are on now.
Yes.
They made a point of stressing that this is a humanitarian issue. It is not political.
And that's why we are doing everything possible to ensure that we solve their problems. And that's why I said very soon, in the coming days, we're going to have a tripartite meeting to see how we can address that. So you just want to crave their indulgence to give us time. And once we get the fund, we have access to the funds. Because as I said, finance have already
made an allocation.
And I've even said there's nothing to hide, 50 million. Okay, from that 50 million, we have to pay UTG, have to pay CSU, we have to pay UEG, and so on. And then we have to also pay
I didn't hear you said you don't owe
you and you said also. Okay. So we need to pay all of them. So they've done that allocation. The problem that we are having is we cannot have access to it. So we pay.
So it will take the Ministry of Finance, the same Ministry of Finance, to unlock,
yes.
access to
But they know how to unlock it. Okay. They know where the issues are, and that's why we're going to have a tripartite meeting to see how to unlock it and for us to have access to it. And then we now make it available to not only those abroad, but those in the country also, because they need their support. Because through these tuition fees, they're going to pay salaries and buy teaching and learning materials from our different universities. So it is very important. For us, human capital is very, very key. And I want to assure the students that there is no country that will develop if their youths are neglected in their training. You need a highly skilled citizenry to build your nation. And so for us, it is very, very important because they will be the one now who will come and be the laborers of the republic, like all of us. And really, it is a duty for some of us to really do everything possible for them to be in a conducive learning environment, and we'll continue doing our best.
So in short, the importance of stipends being paid in a timely manner is not lost on the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, only that you don't have a safe, as you say, where money is sitting all the time waiting to,
The only
disburse.
thing, how it works, we need to be given the allocation from the Ministry of Finance. So once we receive that, then we do the payment. So there's no money sitting at the ministry that was allocated to us, and we did not utilize that. So I just want to crave their indulgence, and it will be fixed very soon.
Fantastic.
Maybe this week after our meeting. So we are still pushing. I understand their challenges, their frustration, but the way we were able to pay before up to March, April. So it's the same way we're going to pay.
That you clear May to July.
Yes. So those who finished and came back, because some we trained them for 4 years, now finished, and they are returning now.
Oh, okay.
So the same thing, these people also will be paid. I make it very clearly here that all these students who are sponsored by the Gambia government, the Republic will come for you. The Republic will pay for your tuition fees as stated in your award letters. The Republic will give you the stipend. It's an investment for you to come and build a better nation. And that's why we are investing taxpayers' money. And yes, it might take time, but we will be there. We will ensure that you get what you're supposed to get. I want to just crave your indulgence. We have all the data ready. Per country, each country, we know how much we're supposed to pay.
Okay.
Everything is done.
Okay.
As I said right now, if we get the money today, we press the button.
Okay.
We are not to wait to know, okay, how, let's do our homework. We've done that. We know how much we owe each student.
Okay.
And in each country, that data is available at any given time. Once we have access to the funds, even today we pay. So, then we pay based on what is given to us.
Of course. It can't be more reassuring than that. Professor Pierre Gomez is our guest this morning. He's the minister responsible for higher education, research, science, and technology. We've just finished talking about the outstanding student stipends. Let's move on to other developments. I tell our education reporter, maybe we should even, reclassify that as higher education reporter. I tell him the Mohast is the most workshopping ministry in the country. Recently, you unveiled the second phase of the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology USAID project with new labs, workshops, innovation hubs. How will the expansion directly benefit Gambian students and the labor market especially?
Yeah, we're going to have some new programs next year. We are working with the World Bank. We developed a proposal which has been which has some support of the bank, and one of the new programs will be computer engineering. And in the computer engineering will be having some specialization in AI and cybersecurity at degree level, which we do not have right now in the Gambia to address that for now. And that's one of the areas. And also within the construction component, also having some other programs to be able to address some of those things. And then renewable energy will be the third component. So architecture and design for the second component is very, very key. So remember, we've already done we already graduated, some students in mechanical engineering, civil engineering, and electronic engineering. We're also going to come up with some undergrad programs on BTech. That will be very, very helpful for the students, getting the skill sets for this country, getting the right laborers for this country. So that's what USAID is going to be, and next year is going to be a turning point on that, and we are rolling out that strategy. And with the support of the World Bank, we invested. We did not. By the time we were about to finish the first phase, we sat together and developed a proposal, shared it with the bank, and they were very interested. And they are now supporting us for a new ACE, Africa Center of Excellence. And the Gambia will be part of, we will be only the first three groups in West Africa, that is Gambia, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire, will be the first group to benefit from that funding. And we working on those issues, and God willing, that's going to be a game changer.